New developments in the GOP war on abortion. Missouri lawmakers making the state the 8th now to pass an anti-abortion bill this year. The Missouri bill will criminalize abortions at 8 weeks of pregnancy, and it comes amid backlash by Democrats and concern by some Republicans over Alabama's near-total abortion ban. That makes no exemptions for rape or incest. Joining me now, former CEO for the DNC, Jess O'Connell, also the former executive director of Emily's List, and attorney and conservative radio talk show host, Chandelle Summer. So, Chandelle, as I welcome both of you ladies, the Alabama law driven by Republicans, it offers no exemptions at all for rape or incest. Do you think that's potentially damaging for the president in 2020?
Absolutely. I think on this issue, Republicans have lost their collective minds. To pass an abortion law that makes no exceptions for rape or incest is heartless and cruel. I think it's a loser for the Republicans, and I hope they reconsider.
Jess, what about you? Do you think that this kind of thing will drive the GOP base to the polls or more Democrats? And what about independents? Where do they lie on this, do you think, politically?
Well, I couldn't agree more. This is definitely a loser for Republicans. This is a health care issue, and we saw what happened in 2018. Republicans just lost the House on health care alone, really driven and fueled by women and their anger over the Republicans' attempts to restrict health care more broadly. We just had this week, in addition to all of these massive extremist abortion bans that are sweeping across the country that these Republicans have been trying to push through for years. We saw 183 Republicans vote against lowering prescription drug prices. They have an assault on health care. They have an assault on women happening, and that's a complete loser for them in 2020.
What about those Democrats, Chandelle, who really are latching onto this issue for 2020? That includes Elizabeth Warren, Kirsten Gillibrand, Cory Booker, all of them vowing to give abortion federal protections if they are elected. How do you see this influencing and shaping the 2020 race?
Well, I think that the 2020 race was looking pretty good for Republicans based on the fact that the economy is strong and Donald Trump seems to have settled into the presidency. But this issue has the potential to blow it up for the Republicans. I mean, first of all, they were winning this war, if you want to call it that, on abortion, in that abortion rates were down. We now have advanced to the point where we have Plan B and other technological resources for women, which have made abortions less necessary for women who have unwanted pregnancies. So why they would come in and shoot themselves in the foot by coming in with something that sounds so draconian to not allow a woman who is raped to have an abortion, or a woman who has been the victim of incest to have an abortion, it has the potential to send women flocking in droves to the Democratic Party, whereas before the issue had pretty much died down.
Do you think
I think that this
Go ahead.
I think they're trying to exploit the fact that they have now Justice Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court. Well, I don't believe that Justice Kavanaugh or Justice Roberts or even these purportedly Republican Supreme Court justices are going to come in and overturn Roe v. Wade. So it's all for naught, and it's probably going to cost them the election.
Ultimately, though, Jess, do you think Democrats should be kind of worried about pushing this line too hard? Might it give some Republicans who are somewhat less enthused about the president something to then rally behind?
No, look, I think this is a losing legal battle. I agree with that, and I also think it's a losing political battle. And you've got some leadership. I mean, I think all, if not, or most, if not, all of the Democratic presidential contenders have come out strongly condemning these abortion bans. But you're seeing real leadership from the folks that you mentioned, Senator Gillibrand, Senator Warren, Senator Booker, pushing for this federal legislation because health care, it shouldn't be predicated on which zip code you live in. And right now, that's how Republicans are legislating. And that is hurting women and families. And that is going to drive people to the polls to support Democrats. And that includes independents that you mentioned.
Jess O'Connell and Chandelle Summer, I'm afraid that's all we have time for right now, but we can certainly continue this conversation. I'm sure we will. Thank you, ladies.